Hi, welcome to Crystal Cave. Before we get your tour started, let's learn about the history.
Our tale begins well over 100 excuse me, 100 years ago, in the year 1881. Legend tells of two local farm boys named William and George Vanoss who unwittingly came across a small hole in this very field. Through sheer will and bravery, these two boys discovered that the small hole led to a vast and magnificent cave. Alright, enough with the history lesson. Let's get inside.
When you're walking through Crystal Cave, it's important to use the hand railings wherever you see them provided for you. And watch your head. The rocks can get pretty low.
The first thing you'll notice when entering Crystal Cave is the wonderful gift shop. Then you'll be sure to notice all of the incredible rock. All the rock you will see today is a type of limestone. But how does limestone form? Let's ask an expert. Besides me.
Well, limestone usually forms in warm, shallow oceans. And believe it or not, about 485 million years ago, all of this area around us here was a warm, shallow ocean. And the plants and animals that live in the ocean eventually die and settle to the bottom of the ocean, kind of pile up as a limey mud that later compacts together and makes limestone.
And just what type of animal would be making this rock?
So there were lots of different kinds of animals that lived here, everything from very small, microscopic sized things to bigger ones that might have been 15 or 20 feet long, and those would have been cephalopods. So we find cephalopods and trilobites and brachiopods and crinoids, and really a lot of different kinds of little fossils that we find in the rock here.
So if all the rock was made over 400 million years ago, when did the cave form?
Crystal Cave was formed probably as old as 1,000,000 years ago. We really could say that some of the cracks that were here in the cave that we see today may be 1,000,000 years old.
So what exactly formed Crystal Cave? Well, the answer's pretty simple.
The cave is formed mostly by a weak acid that slowly drips down from the surface, and that's called carbonic acid. It's not a strong acid. It's the same stuff you have in soda pop. When you shake it up, it's just the fizzy water that you get there. And we get that from rainwater that comes down from the soil. It passes through the soil and gets carbon dioxide there. And then as it moves down slowly through the rock, it'll start to dissolve this limestone and make the holes that you see all around me here.
There is a lot of water dripping in Crystal Cave, and this is the same carbonic acid that forms the cave. And wherever you see this water dripping, you're also going to see a lot of speleothems.
Crystal Cave has several different kinds of formations. The stalactites are the ones that hold tight to the ceiling, and so they will drip down from the ceiling. And then we have stalagmites that come up from the floor. We also have ribbon, drapery, bacon strip, a lot of different kinds of cave decorations here.
Crystal Cave is naturally dark and pretty cold, so no animal would want to live down here, right?
Crikey! Now right behind me are some beautiful creatures. Bats. Now it's very important that when you see these, you gotta stay quiet, because they're sleeping.
This cave, being fairly cold, only has one kind of animal that we find here, and that would be the bats. There are 4 species of bats that live in Crystal Cave. The big brown bat, we see some of those. We also see mostly little brown bats. There are a lot of those guys. And we see a lot of eastern pipistrelles. And the 4th kind that we have is called a northern myotis, and we see a few of those.
I'm sure you've heard the saying before, blind as a bat, but that's not really accurate. Bats have really good eyesight, and they're even a step up from us because they have something called Echolocation. Echolocation is like sonar. The bat sends out sound waves. These sound waves go out, they bounce off of things, come back to the bat's ears, and they can navigate just off of what they hear. And this is so accurate that these bats can pick out all the flies and mosquitoes and moths in the middle of the night. So if anybody ever says you're blind as a bat, just say thank you, because it's a compliment. We've talked about the history, the rock, the rock, thank you, the formations, and the animals of Crystal Cave. But let's talk about something just as important, pollution. And for that, let's go to the field for a delicious experiment.
Caves play an important role in our water quality. A lot of our water, like our drinking water, comes from caves, filtering down through it. Now, a lot of people will pollute and dump garbage into caves, and that's really going to affect our water quality. Now, take this for an example. Here we have our cave, and people have been dumping garbage. You got salami, bird feathers, all that garbage. And then we're going to have our rainwater, and that's going to filter through the cave. And it goes through, goes down into it, and eventually all of this is going to get pumped back to the surface. Now that's pretty gross. Most people would not really want to drink water from this. That's disgusting.
Once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming to Crystal Cave today. Your tour is about to begin, but do you have any last words, Blaze?
Crystal Cave is the best cave in Wisconsin. It's the longest cave in Wisconsin with almost a mile of passageway. And your tour guides are going to take you today and show you around some of the best parts of the cave. You'll like it.
Come on down to Crystal Cave. You're gonna have a rockin' good time.
This is for science.
And the air is too. Take your trip down to 29.